Greetings, judges and Tulane Business Model Competition guests. I am Ross Hassan, the Chief Operating Officer of $1 Million Scholar. Since 1980, the average cost of a college education has risen over 1,000%. That's more than food, housing, healthcare, and inflation over the same period of time combined. In fact, of the 20 million students that were enrolled in higher education in 2012, roughly 60%, or 12 million of those students, took out loans to cover the cost of their education. And of those students who graduated, the average debt load was $25,000. I was one of those students, simply because my mother had always impressed the importance of education. However, I was the third student in my family to go to college, and my parents were rapidly approaching the retirement age. Simply, they could no longer afford to pay out of pocket. So, like many of my peers, I was forced to take time off from school. I was fortunate enough to secure a job at NASA, save for school, and then use the rest, cover the rest of the cost with loans. While at Morehouse College, I met a young man named Derrius Quarles. And Derrius told me that before he had came to Morehouse, he had won over $1.1 million in scholarships. We immediately noticed that we had a similar passion for teaching high school students how to finance their higher education. And so we formed $1 Million Scholar. And from our experience, initially, we realized that there were no standard resources available to teach students how to go through the process of winning scholarships. So we developed 3 assumptions with our Lean Canvas. The first assumption was that there were no resources, there were no standard resources available for students to learn how to go through the scholarship process. The second assumption was that students were not being prepared adequately before graduating high school to learn how to finance their college education. And our third assumption was that our student users would not be our payers. So to test out our assumptions, we created 2 simple experiments. The first was an education publication, guide to winning scholarships, $1 Million Scholar, and winning the scholarship race. And the second test was a prototype website. And so from these experiments, we received some early validation. We had over 25,000 unique visitors to our website in the first 6 months. We had over 10,000 views on our YouTube page. We had created $15,000 in revenue from book sales alone with little to no marketing budget, and we were able to track the fact that we helped students win over $1.5 million in scholarship funds. Yes, we had validated the fact that there were no standard resources available, and roughly 8% of the students that we spoke to said that their high schools, they did not feel that their high schools prepared them adequately to finance their higher education. And beyond a list of scholarships, students wanted to know how to create competitive scholarship applications. And lastly, we realized that our book sales were primarily coming from parents and organizations and schools. So all of this validation was great, yet we realized we still didn't have a scalable and repeatable business model. If we were going to scale up and have a repeatable business model, we need to go to something other than direct sales. And so with this, we realized we started to conduct customer discovery interviews with these segments that were our paying customers. And we realized immediately almost that parents needed the least convincing, because they had the urgent need of their students attending college. And so we decided to hone in on parents, and we conducted 100 customer discovery interviews with parents to see exactly what their pain points were, or to see how we could possibly provide the gain for their student. While talking to parents, we realized that they responded most impactfully to affordability. Yes, they understood the importance of college education. Yes, they weren't apt to take out student loans, although they were willing, but the idea that a college education for their child could be affordable was very attractive. While also talking to parents, we realized that many of them were simply confused with the process of paying for school or applying to college, and many, because of the confusion, did not feel confident enough to help their student create a competitive scholarship application. And So, with this insight, we realized that $1 million university, a web platform that teaches students how to win scholarships, you can think of it as a Khan Academy or a Kaplan test prep for scholarships. And we also thought that the services of upsell for essay editing and resume editing would be the most advantageous for students. And so with this integrated platform, this will be our core product and our feature offering. We will generate revenue from our services by a subscription model, 6-month subscription-based model for the $1 Million University, fees per service for the essay editing and resume editing. And through the process of doing business, we'll be collecting tons of information, and we have a high potential to become a lead generator for other education businesses or for higher education institutions, and we'll be able to generate revenue from each lead created. Our total addressable market are the 12 million college students that took out loans, and plus the 7 million high school juniors and seniors. And our service addressable market, we whittled that down to the 5 million students who are entering into college, because our service is more tailored to those who have not yet seen college. And of that 5 million, we whittled that down to a population where there are several demographic factors that we identified that will make a parent more likely to purchase our service. And so with this, just going with the $1 Million University's platform, we calculated that our lifetime value of each customer would be approximately $75, multiplied by our target market. We saw that that was a total market value of $35 million. Our team consists of Derrius Quarles, our CEO, Chief Visionary who has capital raising experience, myself, the Chief Operating Officer, and Nicola, who is a computer science graduate of Boston University and is currently an MBA candidate at Pace University in New York. We also have a dynamic team of mentors that consists of individuals with experience in venture capital, education technology, and public education. $1 Million Scholar trumps all of the competition because, one, we start after students go to the search engine, and we help them with strategies and methods proven to win scholarships. Our service will be on demand via our web platform. We also provide upsell services in addition to our core content offering of $1 Million University. Our target markets are high school and college students, which opens up our potential for revenue greatly. And we have a scalable and repeatable business model. There was one point in my life where I thought that financial barriers would keep me from attaining my dream of a college education. There are many students out there right now just like me. And so I ask you all today to join the $1 Million team so that we can help those students achieve their dreams as well. Let us go fund those dreams. Thank you.